for those of you who thought actually that WHD started today, that's not true. It started 2 days ago. So we had a hackathon which was taking place the last Sunday and Monday, and my idea was actually, what is going to happen if you put 35 developers in a room? So what type of outcome will we have after 2 days here? The idea behind that is basically that we want to encourage collaboration on development level among hosting companies, ISVs, as well as the freelance open source community. So basically, we got for this hackathon, we got a couple of service providers. You will talk more about that. We got a couple of ISVs. And we got a whole bunch of open source developers. And we had great fun. What we want to do today is, we want to give the developers the chance to show you what type of projects we have developed. We had 6 projects, and where we stand with those projects and how you can use them in the future. Before we start, Sabrina from 1&1 helped us a lot and putting also the presentation here together, and she will tell you a little more about it, what happened actually. Yeah. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Hi, I will welcome you all together and just want to say something about our project team and the organization team. Yeah, we are 3 people. There is Søren, who all of you should know him because he's the general manager here. Then we had David Jardin, which is the head of Hackathon, and myself, Sabrina Waltz. I'm from 1&1. And I'm like a co-organizer, and we are one of the main sponsors here. Yeah, the last 2 days at our hackathon was a very inspiring experience, I have to say. There were a lot of people from all over the world, like people from Canada, Poland, UK, Germany, Spain, Russia, not to forget anybody. And it was so great to see how people from different nations can work together. They were sitting there all day, starting very early in the morning until late at night, and working so much concentrated and inspiring on their projects. And not even that, don't have to forget, because people are mixed in teams. That means we mixed the service providers together with ISVs and the open source community, and basically in real life, they're actually sometimes more like competitors than friends. But you couldn't feel anything of that. It was so great and inspiring, and people had so much fun. So we had like some big, great ideas and cool stuff which they developed. Even in the first day, the first evening, we had like cool results, but we also need the second day to do some like fine tuning. And what we have done now is to show you, we captured a little bit of this good atmosphere, and so we did a little video to show that. So what should I say? Just hear what the participants can tell you about that experience.
Hackathon is, I like it very much. I mean, it's really cool when you see all those people, and when you are part of it, and you can see, like in a few hours, something happens. It's amazing, yeah.
Pretty nice event, nice people, and I enjoyed the possibility to talk with people from different industries.
It's very exciting to work with other people, to see how other people work, to do something that you don't do normally. It's very intense. So yesterday we started at 9 and I closed the laptop at 11 p.m. Yeah, it's very, very thrilling, very exciting.
I enjoyed the event, I enjoyed the information exchange, I had really fun here.
I liked the hackathon really much. It was the very first one, and it was really well organized. and we had a lot of fun, and I'm pretty satisfied. I think we have a good outcome.
Oh, it's great. Nice to meet new people. Work with some people who have some experience in this area. I think it was really well organized, and we found some tools to work well together. And it was great. Good experience.
So I guess that gave you a little impression of how the people felt and that they liked it a lot. But now we really want to show you the cool stuff they produced. And now we are beginning with the project team of 1&1. They had a cloud server use case. And I will welcome Rainer Streeter, who will present the case. He is division lead of global hosting platform.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I probably need. We actually started with 2 use cases. And before I give you or share with you the idea behind the 2 use cases, I just want to tell you why these 2 use cases and what were the rationale for getting these 2 use cases. Some time ago, we spotted on our cloud platform that we had overnight an increase of more than 600 containers heavily used by one of our customers. The customer was the University of Karlsruhe, who are working together with the CERN Research Center in Switzerland. And what they're actually doing is very simple. They're generating petabytes of data, and within this data, they search for something. They have no clue what they're searching for, they're just searching. And when they found something, they know what they actually was looking for. The only thing they really need is a tremendous capacity in terms of storage, in terms of computing power. And they don't need it all the time. They just need it when they just start searching. So they need a very elastic cloud, a very elastic container system. And that's where we started with the defining the use cases. Now, the first use case is a very simple one. Just get known the API. It's a really simple API. It's simple to use, but still, if it's completely new to you, the first you do always is try to get an example, try to use this API. So to create a server, delete a server or container, and get a list of all containers which are in your infrastructure. And the second one, so let's continue with the first one. The first one was just about creating, deleting, and list servers. My assumption was that we just had a kind of small screen output. But what this team achieved in the short time frame was even doing a Windows application. So they just used their Windows smartphone, generated a small program, and were able, using this tablet or Windows phone, and list all the servers, generate new servers, list the load balancers, even the firewalls, so the entire infrastructure, which is required to have a high-scaling container infrastructure. And here, a screenshot of the page which is generating new instances and new servers manually. Just type in a couple of data, type add, and there are the new container and new server. That's just showing how it looks like on the development environment. Pretty bit larger screen, so it was kind of liquid design if you want. You can use it in any device. Now, when they were able to generate servers, delete them, and list the servers, list the containers, then the next use case was try to make sure that you can scale this infrastructure, that you are able easily to add servers and to remove servers. We just use a very simple trigger, which is the load of the container systems. So what they're doing is they list the server, try to identify what the load of the existing infrastructure is, and then add, based on the load, new containers or just remove containers. So have always a reasonable number of containers available in the infrastructure according to the load required by the systems. The way they achieved it was just doing a small PHP script, which was just the fastest way of getting this implemented. Here, just the script, and is there a laser pointer? Yeah, there is. Fine. So here you can see the last line where we added the server. Finally, after evaluating all the stuff we need to check the RAM, to check the CPU, to check all the resources which we have, and if they reach a certain threshold, just add a new container. By the way, for everybody who's interested in This project, I think like all projects, they're on GitHub. The code is free, the API is free, everybody can download it, can reuse it, can modify it. It's just free, it's for your own purpose. And then that's something we achieved in a very short time frame using an API which is public, which is easy to use, and which allowed us really to have something which seems to be quite amazing, an auto-dynamic scaling infrastructure, just in a simple hackathon. Just 2 days with an interdisciplinary team of people who never worked together before. My personal belief is that this is really amazing to see how nowadays, today, with standardizing and with standard technologies, we are able, in a very short time frame, here with new people, new cultures, to generate something like elastic clouds.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rainer. I welcome the next project. It's from Joomla, and I welcome Benjamin Rössler. He's developer at CMS Garden.
Hello, everyone.
Come here.
Please, yeah.
Please here.
We wanted to provide a way to scan hosts for existing CMS software and check the modules which installed. Our aim was to implement Joomla. We also implemented a scanner for Drupal, Typo, and WordPress 2. And we gave you the ability to scan your host for existing installations and check for module versions, install paths, and unified, and you get unified data as output, so you can reuse it and take actions according to it. As result, you get standardized JSON objects. They look like this, and they are really simple to use. You can check out our project on GitHub, and you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. So next will be Plesk. Come to stage, Jan Löffler, CTO of Plesk.
Hi, everybody.
And take this.
Oh, thanks. So the last 2 days were really inspiring and a lot of fun for all the teams. So I saw so much passion and glowing eyes from the developers. So it was really a lot of fun for me to watch them coding. And still the old screen. All right. So WordPress, the most used CMS in the world, has a really great feature which is called WP-CLI that allows developers to manage multiple sites directly from command line. And I can tell you, developers of WordPress, they love that. Joomla, the second most popular CMS in the world, is unfortunately lacking such a feature. And the Joomla community and the Plesk team, they had one shared vision of providing such a really cool feature like WP-CLI for Joomla and provide it to the community. And so we also thought about integrating it directly into Plesk as an extension so that you're able to detect all the Joomla installations on one machine, retrieve their version information, and do upgrades seamlessly without having to log into every single Joomla site on that machine. And we wanted to do it as open source because CMS is a lot about open source. It's about community work. It's about contributing something back and giving it to the community that everybody can use it. And so is also the Plesk extension open source that everybody can look it up and very easy to use. First, our approach, how did we proceed? We had to build the Joomla CLI script. So it's a PHP script that works with the Joomla framework and application package. And then afterwards integrated it via so as a Plesk extension that was built with a Plesk SDK. And now let's have a look what that all looks like in the end. So there's a screenshot from an actual Plesk 12.5 installation, and it shows all the different Joomla versions that were found on that machine, and you can just click scan and found different ones. So if you upload a new Joomla application to the server, then it's automatically found, and you see the version information and get a bunch of other information as well. And you can even manage it from there. And you can install upgrades, so it's really cool. You see information about the extensions that Joomla used, and yeah, as said, you can manage the whole Joomla installation via Plesk directly. And we wouldn't be developers if we wouldn't have done also a command line interface with JSON output just for geeks. Isn't that beautiful? So in total, that was done by 5 developers in 2 days with just only 400 lines of code. So that's not much. And they used just basic technology, just a bit of PHP and the Joomla framework and the Plesk SDK, which is all open and documented. And that's how they achieved it. And the best, it's all open source, it's all on GitHub, so you can check out the repositories and just use it, have a look at the code, and whatever do with it. The best thing is, since we did it as open source, which shows how strong that community is that while we were doing this project and were coding, there were already discussions going on in the internet from the Joomla community about this CLI and Plesk extension. And we got tons of feedback about what to improve, how to do it better, and so on. So that's really a great thing to see, that now a lot of people outside there are just contributing to these projects and are making that really great. So this is why I love open source as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. So next on stage will be On App, and I'm calling Carlos Gregory. No? Oh, good. How are you?
All right, thank you.
You need a clicker.
Yeah. So I'm the CTO of On App, and for those of you who don't know us, a couple of guys back there. So we are a software development company. We're not a cloud company. We do not own any infrastructure. We simply develop the tools for people who wish to manage it. And as such, over the past few years, we've been focusing in creating an environment where all our clients, which are service providers themselves, can tie into each other into what we call the federation. So the idea is that these global resources can be shared across multiple providers. So for this project, what we thought was, there we go, there's our project. We thought that we would have the guys create a script that would allow basically management of this global infrastructure. But of course, we only had 2 days, so there's only a few things that you can do. And the idea was to create a system that would allow you to do 2 things. One of them would be to deploy a cloud server on a data center worldwide, empowered by any of the providers into the federation. And the second one was to have a multi-admin interface. Now, what I mean by multi-admin is we wanted to have the ability to have one admin be able to manage a series of cloud servers, or one cloud server be able to be managed by a series of admins. That was the main difference. So not a standard multi-tier end user, but a multi-tier admin. And the guys did it. So they did it in just 2 days. I'd like to thank the guys from Host Europe. They're the ones who worked on it. And they created VMs in 3 locations. So they created one in Estonia, one in Ukraine, and one in France. Now, usually for a single provider, this is very easy. You have a few data centers worldwide. You have your own connection to these data centers. You create your system to talk to them, and you can do it fine. But this was being deployed in 3 different data centers from 3 different providers, and all through a single unified API. And they did it. We have the code on GitHub. But as I said, in 2 days, there was not a lot these guys could expand on. So we actually have another project, which is called Jaeger, that already does this same thing. And it's a full system, which is all open source and free. So you guys can go ahead and check the results of this hackathon, but also take a look at our Jaeger system, because it's, it's something that was developed over a year, and you have access to the entire source code. So as you can see, they were able to create these servers. They were able to define, how many CPUs, how much memory, how much disks, and the locations. And the feedback that we got from the developers was they were quite pleased how easy it was to do it. And by being able to have only to work with one API into this global infrastructure made it possible. So that was the result. So you can see the control panel, the servers that they created, and for those 2 days they were able to create these servers and delete the servers. And if they had another day, they would be able to add more management tools to it. So that was the result. This was a great initiative. Thank you so much, and we'll see where it takes us next year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. So, next project will be mail channels. Please, Mike Smith, come to stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. I work at Mail Channels. And Mail Channels provides email security solutions for hosting providers and ISPs. One of those solutions is our cloud-based SMTP relay service. Among other, in addition to delivering your mail, it can also keep your IPs off of blacklists and alert you to abuse on your network. So our goal for this was to integrate with some hosting panels in order to automate abuse remediation process and basically close the loop between our abuse notifications and the hosting providers' clients who are originating that abuse, and to allow some sort of control and flexibility over this process. So our approach was to one of the ways we can deliver this notification to you is through a webhook callback from our cloud service. We decided to develop a Plesk extension. Basically, the extension hosts an endpoint where the webhook is going to call back to, allows you to do a bit of configuration over it, and we'll show you some information about which domains have been blocked or mailboxes have been blocked as a result of solving this, the abuse notifications. In the future, we were hoping to also add the ability to, rather than just directly block accounts, to rate limit them as well. So the results were, a Plesk extension. At the top there, you can see an API key and a webhook endpoint. Below, you can see the configuration depending on the type of event that comes in. Any abuse results in disabling the mailbox of the sender, and if spam comes in, then blocking the service for the sender's domain. So the idea is that you'd take this webhook endpoint that's in your Plesk control panel, you'd configure this in your Mail Channels Cloud console, and then when we start seeing abuse on our network, on our cloud service, we would send the webhook callback to the Plesk control panel. Here you can see a list of the blocked domains. Gives you a count of the domains that are blocked. You can also see on the next tab over blocked mailboxes and the number of mailboxes that are blocked. Right from this page, you can click to re-enable the domains. And then also in the client area of the control panel, it will give the customer a notification that their mailbox may have been suspended for abuse. Oh yeah, one more thing. We localized it into German as well. So, and that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mike. And last but not least, we have Strato. Viktor Batrayev, please come on stage. He's from Acronis, but working in the Strato team.
And I have a Strato team with me. It was interesting event. We have a very diverse group working on the project, developers from Strata with help of Joomla community, Acronis team, and Plesk team helping us, and working on the same project. Acronis offers Acronis Backup Cloud solution for service providers, and service providers often offers Plesk to their customers. So the idea of the project was to integrate our backup solution with Plesk. So we decided to build an extension for it. And it's amazing that we achieved in these just 2 days. So we built an extension for Plesk and published it on GitHub. And the extension does image backup of the Plesk server with all customers' data, including databases, web spaces that can be backed locally or to Acronis Cloud. And administrator in Plesk panel can configure the extension, set up credentials to the Acronis backup account, choose backup plan, define policies, who can do recovery, like all users or selected for selected subscriptions only. And in Plesk panel, customers can browse backups, recovery points, recover entire web space, and we also did some localization to 3 languages, created a page, documentation page that explains how to use the extension, and we published this all on GitHub. There are still a lot of work to do. We are planning to support recovery of databases, browsing web spaces in backups, and recover selected files and folders, or download them. So there is still a lot of work to do, and we can planning to continue to work on this project and make it available for all service providers for you, so you could use it and offer this to your customers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, so that was it. 2 days of fun, actually, which we had. Thanks again to Sabrina, who was helping a lot, to David, who organized it, and most importantly, the 35 developers we had. So we liked it so much that we decided that we're definitely doing the same thing in WHD USA, May 25th and 26th in Phoenix, Arizona. We already have a couple of service providers who are interested to join us, and a couple of ISVs as well. And we are thinking about to do the same thing here. So we have already the date for next year. We will announce it in 2 days when it's going to happen, WHD.global 2017. So we will definitely need developers, regardless if you work for an ISV, if you're an open source developer, or if you're a developer working for a hosting or cloud service provider. We will communicate with you, and we will be happy to have a bigger team next year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Let's make 70 to 100 developers next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
And I absolutely want to thank you to everybody who contributed, because I see a lot of them sitting in the audience today. So thank you so much. It was a great pleasure for us together, and a great success the last 2 days.
Indeed. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you.